singer. Here's the songwriter's block. We're at Jake Stone. Thank you, John. Thank you, Joan. Another Michael Miller deserves some thanks too from Wilberts. He sponsors this. We appreciate that all very much. So joining me today is, first of all, Shelby Olive.
Hello.
Ladies first, right? And Guy Snowden.
How you doing?
What you're going to hear, if you haven't tuned to one of these before, everybody is going to be playing original music that they wrote themselves. That's why it's called Songwriter's Block. And with that, I am going to go ahead and turn it over to Guy to start out. Go ahead.
This song is called In My Stride. Summers many miles ago, every day of mine. 7 days, 1 week goes by, taking in my time. Wanna tell me that I'm running around, got the straps right upon my back. Strange thoughts, imaginations run wild, 'cause you know it hurts, taking in my stride. I don't need no one telling me what's right from wrong. Wanna tell you that I'm running around, got the straps right upon my back. Strange thoughts, imaginations run wild, 'cause you know it hurts, taking in my stride. Ten summers many miles ago, never knew you were mine. 7 days, 1 week goes by, taking in my time. Wanna tell you that I'm running around, got the stripes right upon my back. Strange thoughts, imaginations run wild. Oh, strange thoughts, imaginations wild. Oh, 'cause you know that it hurts, taking in my stride. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Guy and I have never met before. He did a round with me, but we did it virtually.
It's nice to see you in person.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We did that all last year. Now, before we started doing that, though, because it was still a pandemic, we were doing rounds outside, and that's when I met Shelby.
Yeah.
She came to the Edgewater Yacht Club, where we were doing them on Monday evenings. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But Tim Massey.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, I'm really excited that both of you are back. I'm glad to see you in person. I'm glad to see you again in person.
Love it.
So, with that,
Cool.
share something.
All right. This tune is called Overthinking. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I'm in over my head. Maybe you don't know what I go through when you leave me on red. I know you're probably busy. I know it's probably fine, but that doesn't stop me from thinking and overthinking. What could you be doing right now that's more important than me? What if you were somebody else who sees the crazy in me? I know you're probably busy. I know it's probably fine, but that doesn't stop me from thinking and overthinking. Ooh, some would call it sabotage. It's true. I can't control my brain when I'm with you. I'm overthinking everything you do. If I could play these cards right, you'd be the king to my queen. But I keep laying down jokers. I'm causing a scene. I know you're probably tired. I know it's getting late, but that doesn't stop me from thinking and overthinking. Only a matter of time till I push you away. Where is your breaking point? I'm sure there's not much more we can take. I know you're probably tired. I know it's getting late, but that doesn't stop me from thinking and overthinking. Ooh, some would call it sabotage. It's true. I can't control my brain when I'm with you. I'm overthinking everything you do. That doesn't stop me from thinking and overthinking, thinking and overthinking and thinking and overthinking. That doesn't stop me from thinking and overthinking, thinking and overthinking and thinking and overthinking. Ooh, some would call it sabotage. It's true. I can't control my brain when I'm with you. I'm overthinking everything, overthinking everything. Ooh, some would call it sabotage. It's true. I can't control my brain when I'm with you. I'm overthinking everything, overthinking everything, overthinking everything you do.
Very good.
Thank you.
I just noticed, I knew you played ukulele. I didn't just notice that. I just noticed you're left-handed.
I am left-handed. Everything's upside down.
My wife's left-handed. She says that's how everybody should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this song, I wrote it at a place called Writer's Inn, and Writer's Inn is supposed to be haunted. And I actually believe it is. Stories I've heard, I do believe it is actually haunted. It's an old train depot in Painesville. It goes back way before, around the Civil War. It was supposed to be part of the Underground Railroad, probably was. But I sat there, and this story just came to me, and I was writing it down in prose, and then went home and wrote the song. It has nothing to do with me. I have no idea where it came from. And I think it's some ghosts that are trying to talk through me and reach everybody. It's called The Seasons. Well, I met her when the thaw came, 2 years before the flood. And I'd gone to the diner that day, I might never know her name. With the touch of her hand and the smile that she gave, my steps became lighter and my dreams open again. And the 16 Grand State Rail rolls through here each night. Whistle blows, she's on my mind, makes me feel alright. Oh, she made me feel alright. spring rain, we grew closer each passing day. Folks became accustomed to seeing us hand in hand, like a warm summer breeze rippling across the pond. From out of nowhere, love came back around. And 610 Grand State Rail rolls through here each night. Whistle blows, she's by my side, making me feel alright. Oh, she made me feel alright. Summer turned into fall. Fall came with its snow. Each cool autumn night we laid in each other's arms. Leaves fell, the sky turned gray. I could feel that cold coming. One night came home and found a note. That's all that's left of her. Broke, I felt hollow inside when I read what she wrote. Simply said, I'm going back home, I'll remember you forever. Outside about a mile away, that old train whistle blows. The 610 Grand State Rail carried my love away. Well, 610 Grand State Rail rolls through here each night. Whistle blows, I'm all alone. I still think of her and cry as the seasons go rolling by. 610 Grand State Rail rolls through here each night. Whistle blows, all alone. I still think of her and cry as the seasons go rolling by. Thank you. Thanks. All right, your turn.
Yeah. So this one is one of the first songs that I ever wrote, which is on my band's new album, which was released on Friday. And this one's called Giving Time. When I was younger, tell me a story about the good things that I have done. Don't lie to me. Don't confront me, just please accept me. Just make me feel like I'm worth it. You could only let me go. You could never read my mind. People tell me that I'm crazy at giving time. At giving time. To you, you could only let me go. You could never read my mind. People tell me that I'm crazy every time. Every time. To you.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Some high notes you're singing there.
I've been told not to sing any higher.
Cool. This next song I wrote when I was in college, and I found out that it's way harder to keep friendships when you don't see each other every single day like you do when you're in high school. And so I wrote this about my friends and just realizing that there are people in your life that you need, and you might not see them for years. And it's okay, you still need each other. It's called I Need You and You Need Me. I'm sorry I'm no good when it comes to keeping plans. You know I wish that I were better, but I hope you understand that life gets in
picked out a song for my next song that's this beautiful, deep, rich ballad that actually could change the world and make it a better place. But because you did that one, I'm going to sing a different song. This is about friends too. This is what happens when you gain a few more years, like a bunch. Blues still serving beer at the tally ho bar. Been years since I sat on this stool. Same old neon sign softly light the room. Most Saturday nights, my buddies and me, we find us here all night long, checking out those tight blue jeans, dancing the country song. Together through thick and thin, brothers to the end. Just sitting here, sitting up here, reminiscing about old friends. Well, Bill went off to win a war, and to get him a Bronze Star. Never heard from Bill again. He's somewhere in Vietnam. Well, Tony always was the one who led us wrong. Now he sits high on the bench, a pillar of the law. Together through thick and thin, brothers to the end. Just sitting here, sipping, reminiscing about old friends. Well, Manny had an old Gibson guitar. He played and wrote some songs. Moved to Nashville, gonna be a star. Now I hear he's selling cars. I hate these Jack's little sis, always trying to be one of the guys. At times we'd let her tag along. Now ends my wife. Together through thick and thin, brothers to the end. Just sitting here, sipping a beer, reminiscing about old friends. It's quiet tonight at the tally ho bar. Those living those neon lights. Ooh, I'll have one more beer. Think I'll hang here for a while. Thank you.
That was cool. If we're doing things about friends, there's a song I write. I don't really write songs for people, but when I had my daughter, I kind of had to. she's the friend you have to have. This one's called The Breeze. Go. You were there in my heart. Forever there's a place to be surprised. be right by your side, take care of you if you want me to. There's a breeze blowing your name, it's heading my way. Thank you very much.
Taking it away from the friend topic, I guess. I actually have a lot of songs, but they're not necessarily happy ones about some of my friends. But this one I wrote a couple years ago. The story of it is you run into your ex after you break up, and you thought you were totally, totally over them until you see them with somebody else, and then you realize, maybe not. It's called Something I Regret. It's kind of funny to see you standing there. I never thought that you'd grow your hair. I kind of like it. Who was the girl that you were talking to? I didn't like the way she looked at you. It reminded me of us a year ago. I thought I had my feelings figured out, but now I'm second guessing, full of doubt. 'Cause we were no good together, but I'm so wearing your sweater. Now I want you back where I can see your face. It was so easy to hate you, but now I think I wanna date you. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. This is ridiculous, I can't believe my brain is spiraling, you were no good for me. Why can't I let you go? 'Cause I was doing just fine when I was on my own. Why couldn't you just leave me alone? You're in my head, stuck in my head, get out of my head. I thought I had my feelings figured out, but now I'm second guessing, full of doubt. 'Cause we were no good together, but I'm so wearing your sweater. Now I want you back where I can see your face. It was so easy to hate you, but now I think I wanna date you. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. I just gotta walk on by. I shouldn't even say hi. I don't wanna make the same mistakes again. You aren't the one for me. You better leave me be. We are better off if we forget. 'Cause we were no good together, but I'm so wearing your sweater. Now I want you back where I can see your face. It was so easy to hate you, but now I think I wanna date you. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret. Somebody stop me before I do something I regret.
I remember that from last time.
Yeah.
That's a good song. Okay, you're kind of setting themes here. So, I'm going to just follow you and go with the same theme. Got to the broken spoke 10:30. Weekends finally rolled around again. Boot heels shuffling, dudes stepping hand in hand. Dale Watson on the stand, just swinging with his band. I'm gonna head to the bar. I'm gonna get me a beer. Pack this plate. Pack this. Wait a minute. We're trying to head to the bar. I'm gonna get me. The place is packed. One night of love is in the air. You're looking around for an opportunity. Man, it's been so long I could use the company. Across the hall, I can't help but stare at a tall gal with long dark hair. She's dancing in a swing, and then I suddenly realize it's my ex-old girlfriend. A tear comes to my eyes. Now what did I do? Oh, what did I say? Must have been pretty bad for you to up and go away. Wish I could fix what I broke in your heart. My honky-tonk angel, you'll always be the one. Dancing with a guy about 6'4". They're stepping and strutting and tearing up the floor. Pains me so, brother, I can't lie. See my honky-tonk angel at his side. I'm all alone in the middle of the crowd. Can't hear the music, broken hearts too loud. Lordy, Lord, I'm telling you, son, she's my honky-tonk angel, she'll always be the one. Thank you.
I don't really have any breakup songs.
Well, I got tons of them. I'm the legend.
Just make sure the cheese are... This one's called Dreams.
Looking at the sky, seeing it's really blue. Looking at myself, at that picture of you. The sunlight in your eyes is keeping me warm so madly in love. No sign of a storm. I said, oh, oh no, oh no. Could have thought it was a dream. Oh no, oh no. Walking down the street, honey, we walk hand in hand, so weak at the knees. I can hardly stand. Taking that way as you dance around the room. The scent of your hair is like spring in bloom. I said, oh, oh no, oh no. Could have thought it was a dream. Oh no, oh no. When you smile, it sends a shiver down my spine. The way you walk, the way you talk to me at night. Said, oh, oh no, oh no. You thought it was a dream. Oh no, oh no. Could have been self-deceived. Oh no, oh no. You never thought it was a dream. Oh no, oh no. When you smile, it sends a shiver down my spine. The way you walk, the way you talk to me You thought it was a dream, oh no, oh no. Could have been so sweet, oh no, no, I thought it was a dream, oh no,
Thank you.
Good job. What theme am I going to do next?
Oh man. This one's called Happy For You, and I wrote it about like jealousy, and there's like the theme and like just feeling like there were people in my life that at one point in my life, I'm not like this anymore, but I used to get really jealous of them, and like anything good that happened to them, it was like a shot at me, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not good enough for that to happen to me. And I dealt with a lot of like self-deprivation thoughts, and this song came out of that time. I don't feel that way anymore, but I still like the song. I don't know how to be happy for you. I don't want to lie through my teeth. But every time that you open a door, it feels like I'm caught underneath. It became so simple to justify criticizing each move that you make. I put up these walls around me, waiting to blame you if they should break. And if I'm being honest, I've been a little caught up in this contest. I let you pin me down before I entered the ring, and I stood no chance when I waved my white flag before you came at me. I don't know why I'm so angry at you. Guess I let you under my skin. Well, what if I ignored it? Oh, I wish I could ignore it, but I can't let you in. 'Cause there's a part of me that seems to need to thrive on this. It's something I'm not very proud of, but if I'm not competing, I'll be stuck with my feelings, and I can't handle that. And if I'm being honest, I've been a little caught up in this conquest. I'm walking from
fall into her arms, it's a fight for the rest of your life. You'll never be set free, no, you'll never be released. You fall into her arms, it ain't a warning sign. You just wake up one day and find you're on the other side. When you fall into her arms, you find yourself a home. No comfort, no love, just her constant dark control. The world you knew before, gray as a winter sky, clouds and filled your days, the needle filled your nights. The world you knew before is in a haze. The cold black horse you rode carried you so far away. When you fall into her arms, you find yourself a home. No comfort, no love, just dark control. Her talons hold you tight as you fall down on your knees. The air's so damp and cold, your heart finds it hard to breathe. Her vile, empty eyes are all that you can see. Against her heinous grasp, you struggle to be free. The way out of here ain't no easy path. It's a journey over rocks and snakes. You've got to fight your way back. Way out of here, you got to see the other side. Hold it in your soul, hold it in your mind. The way out of here takes all that you have. Danger lurks beside, she'll gladly take you back. When you fall into her arms, you find yourself a home. No comfort, no love, just her dark control. Just breaks free from her cold, takes all that you have. But the danger lurks nearby, she'll gladly take you back. Got most of the words. Thank you.
Happy to listen. This next one I'm going to do is probably one of my favourites at the minute. It's called Second School.
Not released it yet. I actually went to Chicago and filmed a music video for it, and it's coming out in early 2022, which I'm very excited about. But it's about two broken people just making decisions that sometimes hurt each other. Did you think I wouldn't see it? The note she left behind. Did you think I wouldn't hear it? When you walked out the front door last night. I know you didn't mean any harm, but I'm still bleeding in your arms. How did we let it get this far? If I could turn it all around, I would make myself believe it was a lie. That you were ever mine. Did you think that I'd believe it? Every empty word she ever said. And I let you convince me it was a notion I made up inside my head. I know you didn't mean any harm, but I'm still bleeding in your arms. How did we let it get this far? If I could turn it all around, I would make myself believe it was a lie. That you were ever mine. And I've made so many mistakes, but I don't think I deserve this to be your second place. They say time heals everything, but what if it's a lie? Were you ever really mine? I wish I didn't read it. My stomach drops every time it crosses through my mind. And I wish I could deceive you, act like I don't know and keep pretending I'm alright. I know you didn't mean any harm, but I'm still bleeding in your arms. How did we let it get this far? If I could turn it all around, I would make myself believe it was a lie. That you were ever mine. Ooh, ooh.
This next one's called Ballad of a Small Town Gal. It could also be called the True Evolution of Love. He was a man of leisure, was a man of means, had everything you dream of, champagne and benzine. Sigourney, Iowa, place where she was raised. She worked the 5 and dime there, selling cokes and lemonade. Man on the radio through collar to get through. A weekend in Big Apple will be waiting for you. She pulled a dime from the tip she made that day, dialed the number, heard the man say, lady, it's your lucky day. She boarded that old Greyhound, going for Trich Town. 610 rail, while the dreams go along. Hung out in the club with the rhythm of the train. Small town gal from Sigourney, relying about the chain. Into Grand Central, the crowd that was absurd. A gal from Sigourney could barely find the words. Walked to her hotel on 5th and 43rd. Anticipation high, what would be waiting for her? One night it was wondrous, bright lights and all those sounds. It ended at a jazz club on the east side of town. Man of leisure, sitting on her right, said, hello, little darling, care to spend this magic night? Hello, my darling, care to share this magic night? Climbed into his limo, soft leather felt so nice. Small town gal from Sigourney, it'd be her lucky night. Man of leisure fell for her charms. 3 months later, they were married in Milan. They lived a life of leisure, Southampton, Paris, France. When love comes around, you just gotta take a chance. Oops. One day she found a matchbook, had a number of some tart. Said, stop by any time, stud. It nearly broke her heart. It nearly broke her heart. Well, the judge, he called for order and he granted the divorce. Gave her all his money, the mountains and the gold. Love is fragile, fleeting at its best, but it ain't so bad when you wind up with all the cash. It ain't so sad when you wind up with all the cash. Now she lives a life of leisure, tends to her broken heart. Penthouse on 5th Ave, and winters in St. Bart's. He tends bar in Hoboken, trying to make its rent. Small town gal from Sigourney, one love he won't forget. But that gal from Sigourney ain't never gonna forget. Thank you.
That's cool. This one's called Lights.
Day goes by too soon. Standing on the road too free. Do
chew my guy real quick. This next tune is one that I wrote for my mom. She's the kind of person that like thinks she can do absolutely everything and refuses to ask for help, and then burns herself out in the process. And so I think a lot of moms are like that, at least the ones that I know. And so I wrote this as a reminder to her that she is not a superhero, she's just a human. She can ask for help, and that's okay. Took on too much, admitting defeat was something I never saw her do. Little by little, her walls will cave in. She will deny it, but there's pain in her grin. She tosses and turns at the thought of losing control. Tell her time and again that she's spreading herself way too thin. Let me lighten your load, let me soften your pain. If you start to let go, you can pass me the reins. 'Cause the moment we admit that we can't do it all, it's not as scary to fall. Well, faced with the fear that her time may be through. I've known her all my life, and that's the first time that I've seen her cry. Oh, even in darkness and even in doubt, even when dying seems the easy way out, she pushes forwards in hopes of making it through. But it's too much to do it all on your own. You're gonna wear yourself down to the bone. Let me lighten your load, let me soften your pain. If you start to let go, you can pass me the reins. 'Cause the moment we admit that we can't do it all, it's not as scary to fall. We are human, we are human, we are human, we are human. If you start to let go, you can pass me the reins. 'Cause the moment we admit that we can't do it all, the moment we admit that we can't do it all, the moment we admit that we can't do it all, it's not as scary to fall.
All right. Many years ago, I went to a thing called 10x4. Rent's 10x4 Mother's Lounge. And it was like the first time I went there. And everybody that got up had a Jesus song. So I walked away thinking, I guess to get your songwriter certificate, you need to have a Jesus song. I don't know, everybody had one. So I went home, went on my front porch, and I wrote my Jesus song because I wanted to kind of fit in. This is it. Okay. Jesus loves me, this I know, 'cause the Bible tells me so. When I was a little boy, about 6, I went to church each week. I learned the Bible, both old and new. I sang all them songs, how he loves me and you. Now that I'm old, I don't have much time. Is Jesus still a friend of mine? Went out this weekend, I had me a ball. Lit up on Wednesday, burned down Sunday morning. I fell in love 2 or 3 times. Their names escaped me, but God, they were fine. From Sunday morning, my head splitting wide. Is Jesus still a friend of mine? Still take communion from time to time. Cold bud, not the cheap ass wine. I chase it down with a jack or two, then Hail Mary and her friend Peggy Sue. Oh, my mama said I would turn out fine. She fed me gospel all the time. All those things I learned in Sunday school, they come escape me, can't remember those rules. I'll ask St. Peter when it comes my time. Is Jesus still a friend of mine? Is Jesus still a friend of mine? Does he love me or even like my kind? Now one question troubles my mind. Do bars in heaven have a closing time? I live my life by 10 golden rules. They ain't commandments, just some simple tools. 5 about love and how not to get caught, and 4 about the good like you, girl sweet and hot. Now one's more a question asked throughout time. Is Jesus still a friend of mine? I got to know the answer before I die. Oh, is Jesus still a friend of mine? Thank you. Steve, how you doing, man?
Doing real good. Real good. All y'all sound good. Yeah, miss hearing you.
This one's an interesting one that I do with my band. Kind of on the album that we've just released. It's kind of a fast-paced, psychedelic kind of sounding song. And when we perform it live, it's just kind of a bit more slow back and relaxed. And the guitarist and the organ player Tyler and Billy, they kind of just jam it out for about 5 minutes. Now I do an acoustic version, which is just really short. So this one's called I'm Free.
People that come and people that go, they never tell the story so. You and I will live again, troubling you inside my head. 'Cause I'm free, Lord, I'm free to be me. to me. I never know what story I'll find. I never know what's in my mind. I never know what story I'll find. I never know, cause I'm free. Oh, I'm free. So give me
This tune is a newer one of mine. I wrote it about my struggle as well as everybody else with liking what you look like and body image, and I think in this day and age it's very easy to compare yourself to other people, and so this is called Nothing Wrong With Me. And 90% of the time I don't like what I look like. I wish I could wear a disguise, cause all of my jeans are too tight. In every photo I see of myself, I look so uncomfortable. I wish my hair was longer and wish I was taller. Wish I could breathe and just be comfortable in my own skin. I'm tired of trying to fit in. Is there anybody listening? Cause I just wanna scream. Hold up, why do we care so much about what everybody's thinking? Everybody's thinking too much about everyone else. I'm tired of believing that there's something wrong with me. Who cares about what they believe? Cause there is nothing wrong with me. But there is nothing wrong with me. I see you when you try to hide under that baggy sweatshirt. Refuse to look down at your thighs. You blame it on last night's dessert. I wish you could see the way that I see you. I will never understand the things that you say to yourself every day. I just want you to be comfortable in your own skin. Why are you trying to fit in? Is there anybody listening? Cause I just wanna scream. Hold up, why do we care so much about what everybody's thinking? Everybody's thinking too much about everyone else. I'm tired of believing that there's something wrong with me. Who cares about what they believe? Cause there is nothing wrong with me. But there is nothing wrong with me. Stop, wait a minute, are you telling me that I don't have to stress about what I eat? Who cares if you're size 0 or size 14? It's time we try to love a little more. Stop, wait a minute, don't suck it in. Believe that you are beautiful in your own skin. You are not alone, let's raise our hands and sing. It's time we try to love a little more. Comfortable in my own skin. I'm tired of trying to fit in. Is there anybody listening? Cause I just wanna scream. Hold up, why do we care so much about what everybody's thinking? Everybody's thinking too much about everyone else. I'm tired of believing that there's something wrong with me. Who cares about what they believe? Cause there is nothing wrong with me. No, there is nothing wrong with me. I really wanna be comfortable in my own skin. I'm tired of trying to fit in. Is there anybody listening? Cause I just wanna scream. Hold up, why do we care so much about what everybody's thinking? Everybody's thinking too much about everyone else. I'm tired of believing that there's something wrong with me. Who cares about what they believe? Cause there is nothing wrong with me. No, there is nothing wrong with me. Who cares about what they believe? There is nothing wrong with me. But there is nothing wrong with me. There is nothing wrong with me.
So last summer, I came down with something called COVID. You guys hear of it?
Just a bit.
There was I don't know if you remember, there was a pandemic back
Still going on.
Yeah, it was weird, man. It was really strange. But I came down COVID, and my dear wife just nursed me through it. I mean, never had to go to the hospital or anything, but I laid in bed for 2 solid weeks. And it was horrible. Horrible experience. She was there, nursed me through it. I came out the other end, and it was, you know, luckily I'm not one of those people that keep having lingering issues. I was on my bike and rode 20 miles a week after I got out of bed, so thank God. But this I wrote for my wife, and it's a true story, actually. Funny how you find the most precious gifts when you're not even looking. Funny how I found an angel one night in a booth in a bar downtown. Kindness throughout the year, all the love I hardly deserve. She shares with all those around. Her compassion knows no bound. Funny how I found God's most precious gift when you're not even looking. Funny how I found an angel one night in a booth at a bar downtown. It saddens her soul to see the world being torn apart. Watch her shine through the dark, bringing hope to other people's hearts. Funny how you find the most precious gifts when you're not even looking. Funny how I found an angel one night in a booth in a bar downtown. She sees a world in bright shades of light, not naive, she knows what's going on. She believes love holds the cure, does what she can to help it along. Funny how you find the most precious gift when you're not even looking. Funny how I found an angel one night in a booth in a bar downtown. Thank you.
Great song, really nice song. This song was, I think, our first single with my band that we released last year. I had the great idea to start a band just before the pandemic. So we were only just kind of getting started. As Billy, my keyboard player, said, we've had 5 first gigs because we've not been able to play like in succession and regularly enough. Anyway, this one's called The Hammerfalls.
Don't be afraid. play with fire. You'll only get burned. 'Cause I'm coming higher. All down in the dark. You stand by hammer falls. Time slows down, so answer the call, yeah.
Thank you.
This next tune is one I wrote for my husband when we were dating, and I wrote it as a duet. He's not a singer, but I begged him. I said, "Someday, can you just sing one song with me and record it, and then you never have to do it again?" And so we did. So on Spotify, this has his voice on it. He's not a singer, but I think he did a nice job. This is called "A World with You." I'm imperfect, I'm a mess, a bitter heart inside my chest. But you came and you turned it all around. I micromanage, I like control, I like consistency, which frankly I have none of when I'm with you. But since you came, you have never let me down. And you're exhausting, you're confusing, but the best thing I have ever known. So if it means sometimes you wear me out, I wouldn't trade you for the world, 'cause the world with you is all I need and more. You're kinda cute, you made me laugh. Most of the time I wanna kiss you, other times I wanna hit you, but you know I wouldn't dare. I like your face, I like your smile, I like your hair, and I like the way you hold my hand, and the way you say I love you just by doing what you can to make me happy as can be. You really are the other half of me. And you're exhausting, you're confusing, but the best thing I have ever known. So if it means sometimes you make me mad, I wouldn't trade you for the world, 'cause the world with you is all I need and more. And I'm exhausting, I'm confusing, but you don't seem to mind. I'm sorry if I ever make you mad, but I wouldn't trade you for the world, 'cause life with you is all I need and more.
All right, this song I just wrote this week. This is, yeah, I know, it's kind of I was a brave thing, but it's really more like a foolish thing to do. So, to hedge my bet, I always warn people that a brand new song is like a little kid. You never know what they're going to do. So, just have to wait and see what happens. Days go by, some are better than others. Days go by, some nothing but trouble. Days go by, one thing I can surely count on. When the sun goes down, you'll be right by my side. Before we met, I had no one I could turn to. No one I could tell my troubles to. Since that day, one thing I am sure. When the sun goes down, you'll be right by my side. Before we met, I was free as a bird. No one to tell me what I could and could not do. Those days are gone, but one thing's for sure. I'd trade them all for one day with you. Think about how I can thank you, darling, for all the love and chasing away my blues. The answer is right before my eyes. When the sun goes down, I'll be right by your side. We met, I was free as a bird. No one told me what I could and could not do. Those days are gone, but one thing's for sure. Trade them all for one day with you. Days go by, some are better than others. Days got some nothing but trouble. Days go by, one thing you can surely count. When the sun goes down, I'll be right by your side. Sun goes down, I'll be right by your side. Thank you.
This next one's a bit of a dark one. This one's called Something.
I don't deserve it no more. heart, but in your hands they're feeling something, something worth watching, something worth guarding, something worth giving to all of the people, something you've hidden, something you've taken, something that I have to get back from you. Something worth watching, something worth guiding, something worth giving to all of the people, something you've hidden, something you've taken, something that I have to get back from you.
Thank you very much.
This next tune is a bit of just, to be honest, just a flirty song. There's not much meaning to it. It's called Spin Me Around. I saw your eyes across the room. You were looking at me and I was looking at you. Give me a reason not to try to make you mine. Your hair slicked back, you look so cool. You got me feeling like a fool. I can't get over you. You spin me around. I think you could be good for me. I am liking what I see. You make me nervous when you speak. And every time you say my name, I fall closer into your frame. You're the one that I let go. try to make you mine. Your hair slicked back, you look so cool. You got me feeling like a fool. I can't get over you. You spin me around. Thank you.
This next one is, I've rewritten. Did you go back and rewrite any of your songs? Yeah, I did too. Every once in a while, I'll pull something out and play it. Yeah, we've got to rewrite this. So I wrote this originally, it says October 7th, 2016. And I rewrote it June 24th, 2020. And I rewrote it again November 20th, 2021, which is yesterday.
You're just not happy with it?
It's called The Road. The place was dark as a bar should be. Someone's team was losing on the screen, singing my songs about 10:15. Will only walk in to harmonize with me. I looked around that crowded place, not one familiar face. Got one more set and then I'll head to bed. After a beer or two, settle my head. I never get used to these days out of town, away from my home where I can just hang around. Time on the road, well, it's wearing thin. I just want to be back with my baby again. Sat right down on the stool next to me. Hair was long, skin my coffee with cream. She ordered up a dry martini, said, your song seems sad. Then she smiled at me. She whispered, I know what's ailing you. I got the cure for those out-of-town blues. I thanked her kindly, said, that's so sweet. Headed to bed to get me some sleep. I never get used to these days out of town, away from my home where I just hang around. Time on the road, well, it's wearing thin. I just want to get back to my baby again. The place was dark as a bar should be. Someone's team was winning on the screen. Different town, but the same old tunes. 2 more days, be heading home to you. I never get used to these days out of town, away from my home where I can just hang around. Time on the road, well, it's wearing thin. I just want to get back to my baby again. Thank you. I've actually, since May, I've flown every single week.
You what?
I have flown someplace
Oh, really?
every single week.
Oh, you
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Just Boston,
Just traveling
and then
for fun.
Montana, Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So this,
I can't remember the last time I was
no. This one is called Runaway. It's one of the first songs I ever wrote.
Take my hand, take your fist, flip you off with a flick of the wrist, knock you down just to pick you back up.
gonna play one of my first songs I ever wrote. I started writing music when I was like 12, and at the time I just had a massive crush on this boy, and so a lot of my early songs were about the same thing as teenage girls do.
I'm noticing with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm noticing with me.
And strangely enough, this boy I had a crush on, we ended up starting to date in 8th grade and have been together since. It's been 12 years, which is just awesome that it worked out that way. But this is the first song I ever wrote. It's called Forever Yours. It's about him. From the perspective of a 12-year-old, as you can imagine. Hey, I love you a bunch. Just thought you should know, you know. You really make my heart pound. From my head to my toes, my ears to my nose. I feel the beat of your drum. I'll march straight into your arms and kiss your warm lips, your hands on my hips. Oh, you're mine, and I will be forever yours. Tick a tock on the clock, the time rolls on by, and you're still the apple of my eye. So why don't we fly away? Together we'll stay. I know I'll never be ashamed to call you my best friend, my love to the end. So let's not pretend. Oh, you're mine, and I will be forever yours. Oh, who would have thought I'd be so in love? I'd lose my breath just because you're one of a kind. Forever you're mine, and I will be forever yours. You're one of a kind, you're forever mine, and I will be forever yours.
All right, you had a song about your mother. I've got a song about my mom. It's called Mama Said. Mama, what do I do? How do I make her mine? I'm so sad, I'm so blue, I think about her all the time. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, she says I'm never gonna be with you. Go away. Mama looked me in the eye and said, don't be a fool. Girl's way too high, way too cool for the likes of you. Mama went on to say, just look the way you dress. Pants too short, your hair is such a mess. That beard that you've been sporting, you think looks so cool. Well, it's snarly and way too long. A bath could help some too. Mama looked me in the eye and said, don't be a fool. If you want to land that girl, heed what I'm telling you. Words my mama said keep rolling in my head.
hard to get you in my bed. The words my mama said, heartfelt and true. Don't wanna cut my hair, shave my face, just to please you. Mama looked me in the eye and said, do what you wanna do, just don't come to me when you're all alone and blue.
Let's see, it's, I think you guys can do one more each, and then we'll call it an afternoon.
I'm trying to think of which one to do.
No pressure. No.
See if I can get through this one. The waves coming every day. But how softly does the wind flow through the fields? It's on my mind. Just get me home. I'm feeling alone. I'm not that strong. Just get me home. When you told me I would look inside, that inside my head just cried. Need to find the pathway back. You and I can live with I never knew that I was looking for peace of mind, just to get me home. Just get me home. I'm feeling alone. I'm not that strong. Just get me home. Just get me home. The waves come in the day, through the night. How softly does the wind flow through the trees? It's on my mind. Just get me home. I'm feeling alone. I'm not that strong.
This is a song called More Than Ink, and if you take any message away from my set, let it be that the words of the song talks about just putting yourself in other people's shoes and thinking about what people are going through before you say what you want to say. Or I think often in the world of social media, we hide behind our keyboard and say things we would never say to somebody's face, and that's kind of what this is about.
Joan and John, thank you very much for hosting us. Mike Miller from Wilbert's, thank you for sponsoring.
Yes.
Guy, thank you for playing and joining us. And Chris Shelby, thanks for good to
having
see
me.
you again.
Yeah.
It's good to see you for the first time.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you for listening. And thank you all out there for listening. We'll do this again in a couple weeks. I think it's going to be on the 19th. Skip a week. But, usually we do every other week. The 19th of December, it's all Christmas songs. No, not really. Thank you very much. Thank you.